Whoa, hello there. Sorry, you caught me in the middle of my nap. Well, what's that? You want me to talk about a board game? Okay, what board game am I going to talk about? Sleeping Gods? Okay, hard to say no to that. But first, only a small amount of people that watch my videos are subscribers, so if you like what you see, consider subscribing. It only takes a second and you can always unsubscribe later. Sleeping Gods is a cooperative, story-driven, open-world game designed, illustrated, and mostly written by Ryan Laukat and published by his company, Red Raven Games. You are the crew of the Manticore, lost in a mysterious and dangerous world, and the only way home is to wake the sleeping gods by finding totems hidden throughout the land. Now, the absolute genius of Sleeping Gods is honestly that, the story. The game starts you in the middle of this world with almost no direction, and it really only tells you what I've already told you. So instead, you simply start traveling and interacting with the game until some type of story starts to appear. And that's the fun of this game. When you go to a location to explore, you have no idea what's in store for you. Instead, you just pick up this giant storybook, turn to the number where you're located, and start reading. Now, these are not spoilers, but you might discover a lost traveler, a lonely widow, or some pirates hunting for treasure. Could be good, could be bad, but like any true exploration, you never know until you actually explore it. So how does Sleeping Gods handle all of these literally dozens of interweaving stories? Well, honestly, it's with quest cards. Inside of this magnetically sealed box have a whole bunch of cards, some of which are quest cards. So the book may tell you to pull out quest card 2, and maybe on the back it'll say something like Tiddlywinks. So now you have this keyword that is linked to another location, and so you continue to explore. But you still don't know exactly where to go or what to do. Sometimes there's clues in the story themselves, but not always. So you just continue playing the game, trying to find more storylines and more items and more things. And then suddenly it happens. You're in a random city with a random child, and in the storybook it says, if you have the keyword Tiddlywinks, read here. And suddenly you've done it. You've unlocked that one key part of the story, and you're on to another. So only through exploring and happening upon things do you actually find things that will help you, like items, characters, totems, or endings. And let me tell you, there are a lot of locations to explore. You start on this one map, and then you can explore this entire book that has up to 19 pages of different things and different areas to explore. And that's not even including the expansions. Now, I've played about 13 hours of Sleeping Gods up to this point, and I have unlocked 37 of 218 quest cards, discovered 8 of the possible 75 totems, and only found 1 of the 13 endings. So as you can tell, even though I've technically finished the game, there is still plenty more to discover. This honestly reminds me of some of the best open world games like Skyrim or Zelda. You see, I'm the kind of gamer that cares more about the story of a game than any difficulty that I have to overcome to move it along. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't enjoy games that let me run through the game with zero resistance, but I also don't like to grind endlessly to beat a single boss. And so, let's talk about Sleeping Gods' difficulty. Now, I wouldn't say Sleeping Gods is impossible. In fact, I'd say that most people would honestly be able to play it with its normal rule set. But sometimes the difficulty means that the game feels like this endless loop. You tend to explore, fight monsters, get nearly or sometimes completely killed, and then you have to spend a round or two trying to heal up from that. And then you end up doing it again. It's still a fun game. I just feel that the difficulty is a bit of a hindrance in my personal enjoyment. So in order to help my enjoyment, I implemented a fairly simple house rule. Now, I won't go into exactly what it was, but I will link it in the description so you can read it if you so choose. Now, that being said, many other people came forward and said that they also believed that the game was too hard. So Red Raven Games came out with an official easy mode. Now, I haven't played this way yet myself, but I do plan to in my next campaign. So I don't know if in the end their easy mode or the house rule that I developed is going to be best for me, but either way, I'm going to be okay. This is still a fantastic game. Just because I'm not good enough playing at its intended difficulty does not mean I don't enjoy finding totems and discovering its rich story. And that leads me to my second and last problem of Sleeping Gods. Yes, at any moment you can set it up on the table, play for a couple hours, save your progress, put it away, and come back and finish it later. But I don't think leaving a long time between play sessions is that great of an idea. you can often forget some of the story beats or maybe even what your future plan was. Now you can take fantastic notes to help that, but it's not always perfect. Now that also doesn't mean you have to play it all at once, because like I said, 13 hours is quite a long time. But I probably would recommend playing it all within maybe a week or two, just so you can get that full experience. And because of that, I honestly don't know when I'm going to play it again. I enjoy it, I really do. I just don't know when I'm going to be able to set aside 13 hours to do so. So when I find myself thinking what game to play, I often end up reaching for a game I can finish in a single sitting instead of this. And I will play it again. I want to successfully complete all 13 endings. I just don't know when that's going to happen. This is actually one of the easiest games that I was able to figure out how to distill it down to a single feeling. And the feeling I ended up with was adventure. Every time I sat down to play Sleeping Gods, I would take a look at this map and think to myself, what adventures am I going to discover now? I haven't been to this location. Okay, let's go there and see what happens. Or you see something on the map and you're like, ooh, I think that's important. Let's go ahead and go over there and see what it is. There are other very good story-driven board games, but honestly, Sleeping Gods for me is the best of them. Thanks everyone for watching. I've been Ian, and these have been my board feelings on Sleeping Gods. Have you played it? What did you think? What's another game that makes you feel adventurous? Leave your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Now go and experience many board feelings. I want to thank you all so much for watching my video. I know there are hundreds, if not thousands, of other board game content creators out there, and you took your time to watch this one, so thank you so much. If you like what you see, consider subscribing. You can do that right here. And if you want to see more of my videos, you can click right up here to see more. And down here is just a video that YouTube thinks you may like. So once again, thanks for watching.